Oh hi! Welcome to Plug and Play. I'm WizWorld100, you're the viewers and I'm the reviewer. And today, we're gonna go take a look at the Sega Genesis that I got when I was in America. Ah yes, the Sega Genesis, or the Sega Mega Drive, whichever name you call it, you're talking about the 16-bit console from Service Games, or Sega for short. Having a library of classic games such as the Sonic game series which built Sega, awesome games like Splatterhouse 2 and 3, side-scrolling beat-em-up games like Streets of Rage and Comic Zone, shoot-em-ups like Dinosaurs for Hire and Gunstar Heroes, and many more to list. I mean, it's such an awesome console that everyone owned one, right? I didn't! That's right, I never grew up with the Sega Genesis. Not when I had Super Nintendo playing all the other awesome games it had, but we're not here to talk about the Super Nintendo. Now, I never knew about the Sega Genesis until I saw one in a dentist's office. Why yes, in the 90s there were video game stands in offices for patients to play while they waited for their turn. Why couldn't we get those nowadays? I mean, I'm sure kids would probably want to go to the dentist more often. The games that I remember on that system were X-Men, Batman, and Dinosaurs for Hire, and that game had an awesome boss theme. Forget Ninja Turtles, get Dinosaurs for Hire! Wait, what? Oh right, the video! Well anyways, after many years have gone by, I found this funky little box called the Sega Genesis Classic Game Console by AtGames. A company I have no clue about, but after doing some research, they make gaming units and are sole distributors of Sega consoles and PC games in Greater China, and have since then distributed across the world. Well, now that I look at it, it does kind of look like one of those game consoles you might find in Chinatown. They also did make the Atari Flashback, which has 75 Atari games built in. I didn't get it because there's no slot to put your games in like the Sega console. But enough of this online research, let's get onto the game! Console. I figured I'd drag this video out by talking about the box and what to expect. The box does do a pretty good job of catching your attention, or at least it caught mine. It's well presented. Let's make this fun by scoring it out of 10. 1 point for catching my attention. It says there are 80 built-in games to play. Wow, that already sounds like an amazing deal there. I mean, for $59.99 you get a console and 80 games with it? But what games exactly? Well, looking on the back, it shows in these nice shots of the first 40 games that come with it, and they're pretty good. They got most of the Sonic games, the Streets of Rage series, the Golden Axe games, Altered Beast, and a bunch of other good old classic games. I mean, this console has a pretty good library so far, which is good. Until you hit the last 40 games. What the fudge? What the heck are these games? I never owned a Sega Genesis before, but those are certainly not Sega Genesis games. Now you might be thinking that you just got ripped off, but hang in there, okay? At least give them a point for half the games being good. Moving back to the front, it says it comes with 2 wireless controllers. Hey, awesome! I don't need to buy another one to play 2 players because it already comes with 2, and I can sit back and play from a distance without wires. I'd give it 2 points, but that would be cheap, so 1 point. It also says it's a plug-and-play system. Huh, what a coincidence, because that's the name of this— Hey, wait a minute! I need to make a call to heaven for 8-bit.
Bluetooth on.
Enter Angel Halo.
Contacting Angel Halo.
Halo.
Call from WizWar.
Oh, Wiz! How you doing? Something you need?
So Angel, why is this called Plug and Play?
Plug and play, right. Now, I understand the reviewer is reviewing something for the viewer, so I just so happen to be setting up a recording for it. So, Plug and Play is a new show on RiverCityGamers where we cover video game accessories and electronics that relate to video games, such as those Namco Plug and Play TV games. Anyone from RiverCityGamers can cover whatever they want, and you can expect to see a new episode periodically, which any of us could be hosting.
Ah, I get it.
So, something else I need to add?
Well, I need to get back to the video.
We are going to start quick. Oh, yes. Alright. Take care of yourself, Wiz, and,
end
good
call.
luck with your review. What the hell? Well, time to kill my hard drive.
Where was I? Oh right, Plug and Play. You can bring this with you on trips because, well, it seems very compact and it comes with 80 games built in, so you have no fear of losing all 80 of your game cartridges if you had done it normally, which is very helpful. Another point for that. Speaking of cartridges, I noticed that it said this console is compatible with regular Genesis cartridges. That's awesome, so I can still use this with all my regular cartridges if I choose to do so. But what's with the asterisk icon? Oh, some of the cartridges aren't compatible with this? Oh boy, this will be troublesome, but hey, you can still use cartridges at least. Just make sure you do some research on which cartridges that don't work with this. But I'll still give it points for giving the option to use cartridges, unlike the Atari Flashback. Speaking of using actual cartridges, there are also ports you can use for your wired Sega controllers, which is also pretty sweet, so if on the off chance that your controllers get destroyed, you can get a replacement no problem. Another point gained. The only thing that bugs me, and you can view it as a good or bad thing, is that you can't use this with a Sega CD, it seems. Oh well, I can't think of many Sega CD games I want to play, so it's not that bad of a loss.
6 out of 10. Not bad, I think that's enough of looking at the box. In conclusion, this package sounds like a great deal for $59.99. So let's open it and find out. Oh, I already took it out.
So this is what the console looks like. Definitely real compact to the point you can almost put it in your pocket and carry it with you. Hey, who wants to play some Sega Genesis? I brought my pocket-sized Genesis with me. Post a comment on this web zone. There are 2 wireless controllers which use AA batteries. It has 6 buttons instead of 3, has a switch for 1 player or 2 player, with an extra button to go back to the menu. I can't wait to try this! It obviously comes with a power cable to power the console, and an AV cable to plug and play on your TV. Also, there's an instruction manual telling you about all the games included and how to play them. Okay, it's nice to have some extra information. Such as the information on the back of the manual telling you about this Firecore Passport cartridge, where you can download games onto an SD card that lets you play even more games.
Then what's the point of regular cartridges if you're just gonna download it from the internet? I mean, I'm fudging cheap, but even this is going far. I guess it just makes it easier for you to carry your games with you.
Anyways, hooking the system up is a major pain in the— I'm just kidding! It's as easy as 1, 2, 2.5, 3, and you're all set to play on your Sega Genesis. Let's check out the games! The first 40 games are actual Genesis games, while the last 40 is just a bunch of stupid, dumb, brain-dead games added on that you could find on the internet for free. I mean, what the fudge? Some of these games are pre-installed on your computer.
I mean, you couldn't put more Sega Genesis games into the system? I'd be fine with 50 or 60 if you can't fit 80 Sega Genesis games onto this console. But when I bought this, I was expecting 80 built-in Sega games, not having half of them be fudging crap that doesn't belong on the console.
Well, you still have 40 actual Sega games. Good ones, at least. They work, and that's great. Sure, the emulation is a little lacking compared to the actual ones on the cartridge, but I'm okay with it. The wireless controllers work well, even though you have to always be pointing at the console because it uses the same technology like TV remotes where you have to aim at the device, which I highly suggest getting a wired controller, which works great on the system. So, look for one from your retro game stores like A&C Games.
By the way, thanks ANC, I bought this controller from you guys, and if you're in Toronto, you should go check them out. But in conclusion, is this console worth your time and money? Or is it a waste of it?
I would have to say yes, it's totally worth it. For $59.99, you basically get all the essentials for playing a Sega Genesis. It comes with 2 wireless controllers, 80 games, half of which aren't even Sega games, but the other half is and are good games, mostly. You can use your actual Sega Genesis cartridges if they're compatible, and the console is so compact that if you want to bring it with you on a trip somewhere, it's easy to store and take out. Plus, unlike bringing real cartridges, you don't have to worry about losing them.
Or having someone steal them. Yeah.
Now, I know there are probably going to be comments about the Sega Genesis collection on PS3 and 360. Technically, those versions are better and has slightly better Sega games on it, without half of them being this crap that I'm stuck with. But you need a PS3 or a 360 to play them, and not only that, the Sega console is smaller and more compact to bring with you anywhere. Plus, you don't have the ability to use cartridges on PS3 or 360. Continuing on, I highly recommend you getting this whether you own an actual Sega Genesis or not, and if you don't, I recommend it even more. It's like a starter pack for getting into the Sega Genesis games. You've got everything you need for an affordable price, and you can even expand on your Sega Genesis games with actual cartridges. Granted that there are certain restrictions to it.
I mean, it's such a steal that I bought one. I mean, come on, go buy one, or at least go buy one for your friends or your kids. They should love it. But anyways, this is Plug and Play, and this is WizWorld 100. You're the viewers, and I'm the reviewer, so stay tuned.
Hey guys, enjoyed the video? Want to see them earlier before it gets on YouTube? Check out the videos on my site, lazyworkscreations.web.com, and join the site if you can and post in the forums. Follow me on Twitter for updates on reviews and video progress, or if you'd rather have it told through a video, check out my dedicated Let's Play channel, Wiz Hitman, where I play games and give you an update on video progress. Subscribe to my LT channel for a chance to win video game prizes when milestones are reached. Also, don't forget to check out RiverCityGamers.wordpress.com for other content creators kind of like me. And this is WizWorld 100, you're the viewers and I'm the reviewer, and stay tuned for more!
Oh right, stay tuned for part 2 where we take a closer look at the built-in games in the Sega Genesis console. So really, stay tuned for part 2.